Hey, just doing a quick episode today, talking about some of the Sonic news that's been out for a while. Yeah, there's a lot of news going on for a daily basis for quite some time. I guess this is Sega's way for making up for that canceled gimmick they had planned for 2020, revealing new Sonic info on the 20th of every month or something. So, what's new?
Well, Tyson Hess mentioned something about how Sega's not going back to classic Sonic wholesale, people leaving the series, and a brand new TV show.
Ah, yes, all that talk about how no more classic Sonic or something like that. There was also some podcast where Evan Weber was said that we won't be seeing Green Hill Zone again for a while, and I still find that a bit iffy, mostly for a few reasons. One, I really don't take Aaron Weber seriously. I mean, this is the guy who was the freaking ringleader in turning the Sonic Twitter account into a meme-infested slump, only attracting Sonic haters. Yeah, I know he doesn't run the Twitter account anymore, but still. But to be fair, that statement was coming from Takashi Iizuka, then that would automatically translate to, yes, we will be seeing more Green Hill Zone. Knowing how the guy loves to contradict his own statements. The other reason is, well, we still have those upcoming Classic Sonic miniseries comics by IDW, not to mention all the Classic Sonic merchandising. There hasn't been any updates since on these particular comics that were announced, but then again, it's a given considering how IDW Sonic has been suffering a lot of delays these past few months. Update time, because yeah, it turns out we finally got some info on those classic Sonic comics that were announced a while ago. So there's gonna be a free comic book day special along with a deluxe version. Some stories have been shown, like Sonic and his friends finding the Chaos Emeralds in seasonal places, Robotnik celebrating his birthday, and Amy making her own comic book. And we got a glimpse at one of the panels where we see Sonic and his friends traveling through some spring-themed area with some cameos of Nights in the Dreams. Yeah, it looks neat so far. That new zone kind of reminds me of Flower Park Zone from the Sonic Mega Drive comics. So I hope they stick to the idea of Sonic and his friends traveling to some new areas, and not just lazily recycling past levels and just be all, hey, it's Green Hill Zone, but now it has snow in it. Anyway, Tyson's statement, basically saying that he thinks that Sega should just focus more on modern Sonic being good, rather than just reminiscing on classic Sonic in the past constantly, which is something that me and a lot of people I know can relate to. So if there's going to be some big movement about keeping classic Sonic doing his own thing and modern Sonic doing his own thing, then yeah, I'm fine with that.
We also have news that Sonic voice actors like the current voices for Sonic, Tails, and Amy are leaving, along with Pontac and Graf leaving. So now we're left to wonder who's going to be voicing them in the next game.
Well, whoever it is, it's probably someone from the Kingdom Hearts series, because if there's one thing that Sonic and Kingdom Hearts have in common, are the same voice actors. So get ready, folks, for Sonic and the Magical Meme Farts, with Haley Joel Osment as Sonic, Jesse McCartney as Tails, and Gilbert Gottfried as Amy Rose. Joking aside, I can't think of any voice actors who would be fitting for voicing these characters now. And yeah, there's also been the news that Pontav are no longer involved with working on Sonic. Yeah, looking back at it all, there were times I was being pretty harsh on them. I mean, outside of Sonic, I think they're just fine. I'm fine with their work on Happy Tree Friends with its crazy violence, and I remember liking Bump of the Night from back in the day, especially since I've had some people ask me to do that show on Forgotten Media. So yeah, Pontac and Graf's usual writing style is fine, but in terms of writing for Sonic, yeah, still not a fan. And now that they're gone, oh well. Now if only someone could get rid of Takashi Iizuka and Aaron Weber.
As far as I know, Colleen is still voicing Tails in the Sonic sequel movie, so it's still up in the air if she's still voicing Tails in the games. She and the voice actress for Amy are fine. I didn't mind Roger Craig Smith as Sonic in colours, as he kinda sounded like a surfer dude or a Ninja Turtle, but I did find his performance a bit one-dimensional in Sonic Forces, and I didn't like how he was written in Lost World. He was pretty good in Sonic Boom.
Ah, neat. I thought Colleen was fine as Tails. Sydney started off pretty rough in Free Riders and Generations, where she was basically trying to channel her inner Minnie Mouse impersonation for voicing Amy. But in later titles like Boom and Forces, she started to sound better. Well, that's Sonic's voice actors for you. Have a rocky start at the beginning, then they finally improve upon it, only to have it be taken away from it all. And as for Roger, I like the idea of Sonic sounding older, if he was given a better script and better voice director to work with. Whenever I hear Roger's portrayal of Sonic, he always comes off as very smug and arrogant to me, or sometimes just sounding very dull, especially in the Sonic Boom TV show where he sounds like he's either bored out of his mind or just very grumpy about something. recently clarified on why he wasn't voicing Sonic anymore, basically saying that he left on his own accord rather than all those rumors about him getting fired.
I also don't mind how they change the voice actors every several years, as it's like how us Brits get to have new incarnations of Doctor Who and James Bond to keep the series fresh, and it's why they lasted so long. Or like how it treated the new movie versions of Batman and Spider-Man so that we have a personal favourite of how these actors portray these roles. I'm amazed that Mike Pollock survived 2 casting changes, as he is so iconic as Eggman he pretty much made the role his own.
Yeah, it's amazing how Doctor Who went through so many actors over the years. And I do like them all for like different reasons and such. I don't really have one that I dislike the most. Some of my favorites being Patrick Troughton, Tom Baker, and Matt Smith's portrayal of the character. Yeah, they were all great. Ah, poor Colin Baker. Not the worst Doctor out of the bunch, it's just that a lot of his stories weren't that great. Although I've heard his character was treated better in the audio dramas. And don't ask me about the 13th Doctor because I haven't really seen any episodes starring that version of the character. I'm still trying to catch up with modern Doctor Who with the streaming services.
I am hoping that Ben Schwartz gets to be the new official voice of Sonic, as he was great in the movie, and it could happen, as Jason Griffith voiced Sonic in the Sonic X anime before becoming the official voice in the Sonic games during the mid to late 2000s. Or why not get an actual young actor to voice him, as Sonic is supposed to be a teenager, like maybe Tom Holland acting like a snarky, fast-talking kid. Then again, he might be too busy playing Spider-Man to do that. Or wishful thinking, bring back Jaleel White to pander to the 90s crowd. He was alright in the Sonic fan film.
Yeah, he sounded alright in the fan film. A little older, but still had the energy to still play Sonic after all those years.
I have no thoughts on who would replace Amy, but I'm hoping Tails will sound like how he sounded in the adventure games. I still remember his voice in Sonic Heroes where it sounded like they got someone's 5-year-old to voice him.
Yeah, that Sonic Heroes voice actor for Tails was, pretty bad. Well, that's kid actors for you. They're always a gamble to try and find a good one. Although I did like the kid voice actor that did Tails in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I always consider him as the best kid voice for Tails in Sonic media. But yeah, back to the whole deal with current voice actors leaving. People have already made tons of fan art for Roger Sonic on Twitter and such. In a way, it kind of triggers my bitterness, mostly because I never saw any of that stuff happen when the previous Sonic voice actors left. I mean, hell, I remember when Jason Griffith stopped voicing Sonic, people were more relieved to see him go rather than making tribute out of him.
To be fair, Twitter wasn't a thing back then, and most voice and movie actors don't hang around on other online social medias like Facebook, Tumblr, and MySpace. So people weren't given quick updates on who was leaving who.
Well, okay, you have a point there. During Jason's time, the internet was more at a middle area, so not as primitive as it was in the 90s, and not as super high-tech as it is now. And yeah, like you said, Twitter's the most popular site for voice actors and other movie actors to hang around on social media. Even so, I'll always consider Roger to be one of the weaker Sonic voices out of the bunch. Of course, most of that is blamed on bad writing and bad voice directing. But hey, at least he was a lot better than Meg Inglema's portrayal of the character.
I'm Sonic. Click on me for help.
In other news, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is getting a sequel. Maybe we'll get answers to why Tails needed to find Sonic. Is Longclaw still alive? What are the Echidna's true purpose with Sonic and his powers? Will Tom get shafted by Tails as Sonic's new best friend, causing a rivalry between the two? How will Robotnik get back? Will he ally with the Echidnas only to betray them later? I do find it appropriate that it'll be released in 2022, which will be the 30th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game.
Oh, right, the sequel. I was expecting that mid-credits scene with Tails in the first film to go nowhere. I figured this was just going to end up like the Super Mario Bros. Film, Dragon Ball Evolution, and the last Airbender film, ending on a cliffhanger that builds up to a sequel that never happened. But that was just me being very cynical back then. I'm surprised the teaser trailer ended with a "coming to theaters" tag. I was expecting this film to just go straight to streaming, and considering how a majority of films these days have been geared more towards streaming services than cinemas, well, maybe they'll turn their back on the whole idea and just make it a Paramount Plus exclusive film, seeing as how the first film is now on Paramount Plus these days. Either way, no matter what happens, one thing that is definitely going to happen is that the sequel is going to get delayed. It will happen, because ever since Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, every other Sonic title has been delayed these past few years that it's not even funny.
Yeah, you don't like the movie. We get it.
Oh no, I never said that I didn't like the film. I have some good things and bad things to say about it, and I think that the 2020 Sonic the Hedgehog...
Well, whatever it is not important. What is important is that we're getting a new Sonic TV show on Netflix, Sonic Prime.
Oh yeah, interesting name there. Reminds me of the older issues of RG Sonic, where they sometimes labeled the old continuity as the Prime Universe. So this will be the 6th time that Sonic's had a TV series of his own. At first I was just going to ignore this, but since I've been trying to subdue my bitter and cynical views on current Sonic stuff, I'll most likely give the show a chance. Of course, I'm still keeping my expectations low on this. I'm still a bit bitter on about the last time we had a Sonic TV show. So, from what little we know so far, it's going to be some kind of a self-discovery thing for Sonic, traveling through the multiverse or something. Sounds like the story from LEGO Dimensions, but doing more of its own idea. Or, of course, some people think that it's going to be like this crossover with other Sonic medias like SATM or anything. Or another idea I recently thought of is basically just taking the Archie Sonic story Night of a Thousand Hedgehogs and just making that into a TV series. Apparently the Sonic Prime is being made by Man of Action, the people who made Mega Man Fully Charged, Ben 10, and others. The only show I remember for them was the original Ben 10, and yeah, that's it. Apparently one of the show creators for Sonic Prime says that it's going to have a similar tone to Generator Rex. Oh, okay. I've never seen Generator Rex, so I have no idea what they mean by that.
I do like the title of Sonic Prime, making me think it's going to be as dark and epic as Transformers Prime, but we don't know what kind of route it's going to take. If it's going to be set in the games universe, we might see characters from the IDW comics finally getting an animated appearance. And if it's a multiverse, what if we might see crossovers with Sonic from other continuities like comics and cartoons? Or it's like a Crash 4 situation where Eggman teams up with his female self and there's a badass version of Amy with a trendy full hawk haircut.
Very interesting ideas there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on what this new show is going to be like. So yeah, lots of new Sonic content that's been announced, and yet people are still complaining on where the games, where the games, where the games. I cannot but feel like the Sonic fanbase has become increasingly prejudiced against all the official Sonic media that aren't the games. And I'm just not really into that, because, I mean, at least there's some form of official media that's been keeping Sonic alive. And heck, you could argue that the official Sonic TV shows and films and whatnot, they do a lot better than the actual games do. But sure, a majority of the stuff that we talked about are just stuff that hasn't been released yet, they've just been announced, so people have just become very impatient about it. As for the ongoing IDW Sonic comics, well, sad thing is, it's just common knowledge in the Sonic fanbase that nobody reads the Sonic comics. Yeah, it took me a while to bury the hatchet and just accept that fact. Well, I think we talked long enough, so we'll just end the video here.
Cheerio!